All right, welcome back to Virginia this morning. We are out back in our lot behind the station. It's an appropriate spot. We're talking car seats before you hit the road here for holiday travel or really any time of year. It's something really important to keep in mind. Haley Glenn with the Mid-Atlantic Foundation for Safety and Education is with us, along with Katrina Smith. She's with Family Lifeline, an organization here in Richmond servicing at-risk families. Ladies, it's great to see both of you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Glad to have you here. We want to get started on this. Haley, I felt this was really important because I'm a mom. I've been a mom for only a few years now, but I still struggle with car seats. This is a real issue, and Katrina, you see this around town a lot too.
Yes, we do.
You work with a lot of families that maybe don't know where to get started or when it's time to make a change.
Yes, it can be very confusing for all parents to know which type of car seat to use.
Haley, we've got 3 here today, but there's a list of options you're going to talk us through.
Right, we have an infant carrier, we've got the convertible seat, a rear-facing only seat, and a high back booster.
Right.
We're going to talk about each of them and the importance of it right now.
Okay.
So the infant carriers are designed for newborns and infants, and they are typically only rear-facing. What happens is that experts are now recommending that you keep a child rear-facing for up to 2 years, but a lot of the times a baby will outgrow an infant carrier before age 2. Mm-hmm. So a convertible seat is necessary to keep the child rear-facing for longer. Convertible seats are unique because they transition from rear-facing for infants and toddlers to forward-facing for toddlers and tykes. It really is the best bang for your buck because it could get a child from birth through the booster or to the booster stage.
That's right. These can be they can face backwards as well,
yes,
and then reposition forward facing when it's time.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
And if a child outgrows a convertible seat before they're ready for a booster, we would recommend a forward-facing only seat. The forward-facing only seats typically have a higher weight and height limit than the convertible seats do.
Yeah.
Children are not typically ready for a booster until about the age of 5 to 7. And what boosters are designed to do is prop or boost the child up so that the seatbelt fits properly like it would for an adult, right across the center of the collarbone and across those hip bones.
That's right. So both of these then end up being latched into or fastened into the seat.
Yes,
these
they do.
boosters just end up being placed in a seat, right?
Yes, they get placed in the seat and you use the car's seatbelt to put the child in nice and safe.
So you're going to give us a demo. You're going to get started on that. Which one are we going to do today?
We're going to do the convertible seat and we're going to install that rear facing.
And that's probably because that's one of the most universal ones and you can get the most mileage, no pun intended, out of the use of this one, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's get started on that, Haley. I'm going to talk with Katrina for a second. Katrina, we're with you this morning because you work with a lot of families who have questions on car seats and where to get started. I sure did. I didn't know the first thing about car seats before I had kids.
Yes, Family Lifeline works with families and all over the Richmond area. We work with families beginning prenatally and up to the child is 5. So as you can imagine, they're going through a range of car seats during that time.
And it can be a real challenge, too, because car seats range in price so much. It can be a real hardship for so many families to be able to, A, get into one, let alone grow with the child. But it's really critically important.
Yes, it is. And we at Family Lifeline, we do help provide a lot of education and information around all areas of child development and safety to include car seats. And we provide a lot of connections and referrals for families to help them figure out how they can afford a car seat and get a car seat to make sure they're transporting their children safely.
That's right. 2 offices here in the greater Richmond region, one in Richmond, one in Petersburg. We'll share that information with you a little bit later in the segment. But let's go check in on getting these fitted over here. We're going to follow up. We have a helper because, let's face it, you always need a good helper when it's time to get one of these installed. Haley, talk us through. You've got this one as rear-facing. And what are we up to?
So what we're going to do first is make sure that the recline foot is in the rear-facing position because this seat can go forward and rear-facing. It's currently in the forward-facing position, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull it out and fold it under the seat, and then we are going to make sure that it's at the proper angle. If a child can sit in the seat and they cannot sit unassisted up with all of their abilities, we want to make sure that this angle line, the bottom angle line, is level with the ground. So what we're going to do now is we are going to expose the belt path for the rear-facing seat belt, and we are going to pull this belt through this path.
So this is really handy too because this demonstrates the use of a seat belt. Some of these seats are outfitted with the latch device, LATCH, and that clicks right into some things that are fixed to the seat. But we have seat belts in the car, and that is a way to do it. So you've shown how to make that happen.
Right. This can be installed with the latch or the seat belt, and we're showing it the installation with the seat belt. Most seat belts, when you pull it all the way out, it goes into a locking mode, and that's really important because the seat belt's going to tighten and not loosen until it's unbuckled. So what we're going to do now is put it in that mode, and we are going to give it a nice little pull to get all of the tension out of this.
Let's be honest,
belt.
Haley, it's a little bit more than a little. Usually you have to sit in that thing to make sure that you get all the slack out of it.
Yeah, you definitely want to give it some elbow grease. Once you get it nice and tightly installed, you want to make sure that it's still in your proper angle, and you want to give it a tug right at the belt path, and if it moves no less than an inch in either direction, you've got a really tight install.
Great job, Haley. We covered a lot of ground there, and there's still, I'm sure, plenty of questions, so you can certainly look for resources in the community to help parents and grandparents get these fitted in a seat. Katrina, thank you for all the work that you're doing in the community. And thank you, Haley, as well. I'm going to share some information here. We've got a little bit so that you know how to find out more on the Mid-Atlantic Foundation for Safety and Education. They're at 9210 Arboretum Parkway, Suite 290, right there in Richmond. 323-6512 is the number. You can find them online, AAA.com/foundation, and on Facebook, Mid-Atlantic Saves Lives. And the Family Lifeline, as we mentioned, they have two offices. The Richmond office is at 2325 West Broad Street. The number there, 282-4255. And in Petersburg, 700 South Sycamore Street, number 2A. The number there, 804-731-9961. And before we send it back inside, we want to say thank you very much. All month long, CBS 6 has been working to make sure we have the spirit of giving. And so we're very, very proud to work with partners like AAA Mid-Atlantic. Martha Mead, you have decided and made it available with the support of the station to donate 5 seats today.
Well, that's right. It is the spirit of giving. And we all year work on traffic safety and keeping those precious children safe. So it's really our honor, AAA and the Foundation for Safety and Education, to help out such a worthy cause and keep 5 more children safe.
Oh, thank you so much for all that you do. Appreciate it. Katrina, super nice to meet you, and I know you'll make sure these seats go to the right home.
Yes, they will. We thank you so much for the donation.
Thank you. Thank you very much.